Okay, we should almost be back. We should almost be back. Nearly, nearly, nearly. Right. Hopefully. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Finish loading, finish loading. Please and thank you, please and thank you. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Hardware. Catch up with me. Please. Alright. Um. Let's see how desperately badly did things go wrong. Over here, we should now be able to start that up again and connect. Okay, that at least works. That at least works. Yay. And connect. Are we there? Connected? Yes. Okay. We are just about back. We're just about back now. I just need chat back. Ugh. Don't you just love it when things break? Don't you just love it when things break? Okay. First things first. Grab that. Grab that. Almost back. Almost back. Da-da-da-dum. There's one more thing that I need to just grab quickly. If I can find it. Okay. Let that do its thing. Now, hopefully, we should be back and functional. Let me just check here again. Are we functional again? I hope so. What's going on? Hide that. Okay, getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff in the background that will hopefully help clear up some resources. So hopefully, we should now be able to pretty much resume what was going on. Bacon on egg! Hello, hello! How are you doing? We are just recovering from a major crash. So everything is a little bit wonky at the moment. I'm trying to still restore everything. But I hope Thursday is treating you kindly. Oh, come on. I was at the beach most of today? Oh, nice. Oh, nice. It's very warm. I can believe that. I can totally believe that. But apparently now there's a big storm coming towards us. Ooh. Stay safe, please. That's scary. Chat is not appearing here, so let's just refresh and see if that helps. This chat is supposed to be here. Okay, we've got chat back. We've got chat back. Okay. Oh. Little things. Little things. And there's one more thing that I need to grab here. There we go. Should now be able to minimize that. Chat, where idea, yeah. Yeah, you're back. Okay. So I think we are pretty much almost fully restored. I think we're almost fully restored. Now I just need down tablet driver. Okay. And refresh that because there's a hole missing in my interface. There we go. Now we're back. Kill. Okay. So now we should be restored within some semblance of. Okay, we're restored enough to, I think, function a little bit. Okay. Woo. At least we didn't lose progress. We did not lose progress. That's good. That's good. That's good. Want to see over here. Okay. So far, so good. Grab that color. There's something a little bit lighter. Brush that in like so. Actually, select, reselect. I want to actually draw some more foliage over here. And I'm going to use our like so. Grab that color. we go. Okay. I want to reset one more time. Okay. Now we should have a little bit more of a boundary there. Cool. Cool. Okay. Get rid of that for a second. Just want to see. I'm going to add a sky layer. That's a proper sky layer. Come to our gradients. Want blue sky. That does not look right. It's very green. That's not it. That is not it. That is not the vibe. That is more it. Okay. Sure, like so. Actually, what I want to do is I want to have the gradient go a little bit more this way. Not that much. That looks better. That looks better. Okay. Now what I can do is I can slice out that, just so I can have a visual on what I've got and where we're going. A little bit darker there. Okay. Hide that. Now let's come over to our next piece that needs help. I don't know anything about architecture. Does it show? Thank you. The buildings look beautiful and definitely show your love for architecture. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. I feel very, very, very much like this is the sort of thing that I should have gotten a reference for. But then again, I am kind of going with a fictional place here that does not exist in this iteration of reality, so. And I've got to let the chaos cat out my room. Okay. Okay, one cat out, one cat in. We are back. Okay. Of course I would have put effort into a place that you're not even going to see. Of course I would. Undo, undo. Grab that. Okay. Deselect. Oh, that one can go away because I don't need that anymore. Okay. And next. Let me grab that again. Nope. Undo, undo. Okay, now duplicate. And duplicate. Okay. And let's drop that down there. If I am lucky, which I don't think I will be. Okay. And select that. Clear. Lock. Grab that. Okay. Now we grab that color again. Undo, undo, undo. This file was about to do the stupid, apparently. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. So that gives us um okay, let's see. I'm just using masks to make sure that I can actually see what I'm doing. I should probably hit the save button. That would probably be a very good idea right about now. Um, Hmm. Before I render myself into a tiz with that last building, I'm going to make myself a line of farms, and it's going to be multiple. Okay, and that's a hydrate. So everyone acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverage. And let's take a sip. I have got freshly delivered coffee. Yay! Mm. Totally the right thing right now. Okay, now here what's going to happen is we're going to grab a lighter color and we're going to add some banding. Maybe not that light. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of smudge these down a bit. I can afford to make these ones, but I've got the space to blend. Okay, over here, blend down. imperfect angles here are hopefully going to help sell that. It's organic, actual trees. So we have on stream, despite the computer crash, been working for about 3 hours on this so far. How's everyone holding up? Are we vibing? Are we having fun? Are you wondering why, Harry, you teased us with abs? Why are you not giving us abs right now? Why are you giving us trees instead? It's so that the payoff when we do get to the abs is better. I am enjoying. Yay, that's good. That's good. I am glad. I am glad. The abs will come later. Yes, they will. In full force. Okay, so now we're going to add a multiply layer. Like so. Add some dimension to this. Ooh, the banding is beautiful. I'm glad. I'm glad, I'm glad, I'm glad. It just helps make it feel like it's an actual palm tree. And another one, which is going to be there, I think it's going to be okay. Yeah. That will just make it feel more round. And backlit. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. So that is the trunk pot. Now we are going to need the I just want to confirm that I'm not confusing 3 different species of tree here. Hold up, hold up, hold up. I am definitely confusing a couple of different species. Okay, so then what needs to happen is we're going to grab some green. And pull that down over the top of these sections. And a little bit of a yellow undertone. Okay. Now we grab that dark green again. There you go. And we start with our rear leaves. And what I want to do is I want to grab this. Yeah. No. I want my stabilization on 30 because otherwise it gets super messy. Let me start back here. There we go. Okay, there we go. No, non-brush. There we go. Minimize that because it's now in the way. I can't see what I'm looking at. There we go. I'm actually going to get rid of some of these because I don't think they actually are going to be serving me. Okay. Getting there, getting there. Undo. Okay, this is definitely starting to look beachy. Okay, now we need forward leaves, but here, shine is going to be more silver. Okay. And here. Then here. Okay. And that's a hydrate. So everyone acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverage, and let's take a sip. Our palm trees are almost done. They are looking distinctly different from one another, so I'm happy so far. Okay. There we go. And fill. Okay. Now we're gonna just darken up the cores here. Okay. MMM. Okay. We have almost got our background sorted. We are very close. So we've only got this one building left to fill in. To think that all of that is actually hidden behind wings. Okay, I did the stupid then. I did the stupid. That's fine. All of that is hidden behind wings. It's fine. I wasn't sure how much of it was going to be poking out or not. And there's nothing to say. I can't take the entire thing. Grab it. And just cancel. Grab the entire thing. Shrink that down. Undo. Um, just lower them down a bit. No reason we can't do that. Okay. Okay, so now we just need to figure out what we're going to do on this one last building first. It is a bit untextured still, comparatively to the rest of it. So, let's hide our palms again. No, let's not hide those. You know what? I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to steal it and I'm going to just scale it up. Because why? I'm going to be blurring it all again later anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. It's not 100%. And what we can now do is we can now grab that and throw those reflections in. Okay, let me just check here when I've scaled that on. I'm thinking. Should the ground not be slightly darker? Okay. Duplicate the buildings layer. Hide the one. Merge selected. Filter. Blur. Gaussian. Let's go 10. Undo. blur. Wait. $20. Okay. Duplicate palms. Hide the clean one. Merge selected. Filter, blur, Gaussian, 15. Okay. Ground, duplicate, hide the one, merge selected. Blur. That's a bit harsh. Okay, that works. I am happy to leave the background there for now. Save. I think that sells a location without being okay, so now what I want to do is I want to pull that out, because that's a final rendering layer, which I don't want to have confusing me at the moment. So I think first things first, here I want to hide our background. Come over here, hide that, remove Vance's toes over here, because they're not going to be poking out of our frame. Okay, so I'm gonna freeze design on the inks there. That can get chucked into the sketch base. And that can get chucked into the sketch base because I'm done with those two. Okay. So let's start with flats. Unclip that, make it normal. And just make sure that everything lines up. Actually, I'm going to make the flats in a folder so that I can render each material separately. So, let's call this one full. And let's see, what materials all have we got? We've got fawn's skin. We're gonna have fawn's tax. Then we're gonna have wool skin. Then we're gonna have fawn's tail. That's gonna have to be behind. Oh. Then we're gonna need another one, which is gonna be fawn's shorts. Then we're gonna need wool shorts. Fawn's back. Put that one there. Then we're gonna need little shirt. Then we're gonna need little wing. Then we're going to need arms, hair, little hair. Cone. Nice. Green. Metal. Lenses. And I'm going to make a second little hair because why? He's got two colors. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through systematically and fill in everything as applicable. We have got area scaling on, yes. But, we've got a problem. And the problem is that this is going to need a base fill. Grabbing everything outside. And we need this base fill because otherwise we're going to have gaps from our line art, which we do not want. Okay, and I'm gonna just go expand by one, invert, fill. Okay, and over here, get rid of artifacts. Check, are there any more artifacts? Yes. Okay, so now I can take that and make that a mid-tone grey for now. Come back over here. Make sure that the color is clipped down. Teo! Hello, hello! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. My name is Harriet Citadel, avian alien sentinel VTuber, perpetrator of creative chaos and general maker of things, and it is an absolute pleasure to have you all here. Welcome in. How was Community Day, Teo? How was it? I hope you guys had fun. Save button before something breaks again. How is everyone? Good to see you. It was good. How are you? That is fantastic news. I'm so glad you guys had fun. That is so good news. I am doing well. We had a computer crash earlier. So I'm slightly nervous about the safety of my machine. But aside from that, we're okay. Aside from that, we are doing good. We are vibing. We are making summary art. And yeah, we're having a ball. We're having a ball. What were you playing? Apollyon, hello! Welcome in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Wahahaha. Sorry, just choked on it. Ow. That. You're not supposed to go weirdly like that. What? Okay, never mind. We're safe, we're in attack. Ah! Okay. We did Among Us, then Guilty as a Sock, then Lethal Company, then Respo. Oh wow, that was a massive chain. That sounds like you had a blast. Awesome. Awesome. We're currently throwing flat colors onto this very summery beachy sketch, which is hopefully not going to be a sketch for too long. And will soon find its way into the ranks of being a proper full-fledged illustration. So yeah, enjoy the view. um, we are doing quite a bit of experimentation with this one. So I just finished putting together the. Oh, I'm enjoying the view very much. I am glad. You are enjoying the view. Yeah. We literally just finished throwing together the background for this. So we are really only now starting the character work. So you guys just arrived in time for the fun part. Nope. That needs to not come across there because why? Vance's tail is situated behind here. Is there a... I have an error. I have an error that needs to be filled. Well, not filled, but repaired. Clear. Could hardly see that, but it was filled in grey and it was not supposed to be. Nope. Okay, there we go. Alright. So, that is our skin colours. Now, Vance's tail, I'm going to grab that colour, throw a base on again. Cloudy Kamani, thank you so much for the follow. Greatly appreciated. I hope you enjoy your stay. We do a lot of arting around here. And I think I just made a mistake. Yes, I did make a mistake. I knew it. I knew it. A lot of commission work. Very seldom do we actually play games. And generally, we try to be productive. So I hope you enjoy your time here. Hehe. Yes. Raid has happened and it was really cool. It's always a fun time when TO raids. Every single time the TO raids, it's a fun time. I am late with that message. It's okay, it's okay, it's no problem. I will be a little bit more succinct with my placement of colors when I get to throwing in scales. But for now, that gives us the gist of where everything is. Okay, and his shorts are that color. So there we go. This looks great. Who are the characters in it? Okay, so this is the guy with the wing is Wilhelm van der Bos, and the crocodile guy is Vance van Creed. Both of them are from Globy, which is part of Brave Group, which is another VTuber agency group type thing. And both of them are other artists, actually. They both draw a lot on their channels too. So, both being Northern Hemisphere folk who are currently dealing battle with summer, and both being arty people, I kind of wanted to draw them together. And since they're also in the same unit, it just kind of made sense. It all started some time ago. I can't remember how many weeks now. I follow Vance's art is very good. His art is very good, and both Phil and Vance are really great artists. I really, really, really recommend that you show them some support as well. They stream on YouTube primarily. It's actually Vance's birthday series at the moment, so if you want to go send the Croc some love, I would not discourage it by any means. He just released a new outfit too. Oh, cool. I don't think I've ever heard of them. Yeah, Globy has actually not received as much recognition as I had wished they would have, because they are a fairly small group, and what makes them interesting is that they are entirely international spread of talents. So literally, like the name says, Globy, they are from all over the planet, and it's really, really cool. So definitely they have a massive range in terms of personalities and everything. So currently, I believe Globy consists of 2 generations and 3 units in those 2 generations, because the second generation came in 2 unit groups. And definitely worth checking out. Recently, I believe another one of these 2's gen mates did a huge Fall Guys collab with like 30 other VTubers, and it was a wild time. Lots of fun. And they like hosting events like that. But 11 out of 10 worth checking out. Gotcha. I have to look them up. I like seeing content from other places. Yeah. Definitely worth going out of your way to check them out, I think. Both of them are pretty comfy streamers, actually. Despite how I'm drawing them at the moment, they're both actually comfy streamers. Such is what happened when once upon a time, not too long ago, there was a comment made about owl legs, because Wilhelm is an owl. And I just kind of thought, yeah, owls are kind of known for their amazing legs. I want to draw that. And then before I knew it, this happened. And it had been sitting on my hard drive for several weeks before I could get to this point where I can feel, oh, I can work on this now. I've got little enough in my commission queue to be able to assign some time to it. Mwahaha. That being said, commissions are literally my only income stream, so it's kind of scary when the commission queue is empty, but it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. The work will come, the work will come. If you enjoy what you're seeing, please consider buying something. Please and thank you. That was the sales pitch. Owls are my favorite animal. Owls are amazing. And the background looks amazing. I am glad you like the background. I am glad you like the background. And yes, there is a story behind the loud purple shorts. There is a story behind loud purple shorts. But I'm not going to deprive you of the hilarity of the VODs to find out exactly what the story is. Buy Harrier stuff, thank you! Thank you. I exist. Please buy my stuff. I need to eat and pay for the house, which I reside in, before the bank takes it away. Please and thank you. Because that's a scary, scary, scary scenario and entirely possible. Yeah, not gonna linger on that. Anyway, purple shorts. They exist for a reason. You can check out the VODs. I believe it was the Stardew Valley VODs. To find out the story behind the purple shorts. Let me grab the shirt color. I'm probably going to change this hue ever so slightly. An 11 out of 10 would recommend. Thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you. As you can tell, I kind of really like drawing guys, so if you've got any guy friends who are specifically looking for something, don't hesitate to send them my way, because I fear nothing. As long as it is within my acceptable commissions policies, I am willing to try pretty much most anything. Guys, mecha, furry, I do it all. It's a wild combination, I know. Your prices are very affordable? Thank you. I am glad if they are. I tried to make it reasonable. A lot of the base prices have got expansions, especially on the more elaborate sorts of commissions, like the reference sheets and so on, depending on what your needs are. But I try to keep things within reason. I checked out a bunch of folk who I think my skill level is comparable to before deciding on my pricing. And if I see that things require adjustment, I might do minor adjustments here or there. But I don't do that frequently. Okay, Harrier has done a very beautiful job with my reference sheet, worth every penny. I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm so glad. Yay! I've probably not got these colors accurate to the reference sheet yet. No, I did grab the wing color from the reference sheet. I did grab the wing and the hair color from the reference sheet. I did. I did not eyeball these. I'm gonna need to make swatches for these two because I'm definitely gonna be drawing them again in future. Oh, I need to make swatches in my clip studio for these two. Just to save my sanity. I don't commission very often or much at all, but I will keep you in mind. Thank you. It's okay, I understand. Finances are tough out there. I think in my entire VTubing career, I've been able to afford a commission exactly once, and that was a 5-pack of emotes for my past life. That was it. Okay. Hide the base. Grab that. Vaughn's hair. Now I can see all of the errors that I need to correct. Yeah, I don't even have emotes. All I have is a design that I got commissioned. Ah, it's fair, it's fair. Yeah, the only reason I'd done that was I did the emotes when I did was because I had been streaming for like 2 years and I was so done with spending all of my time feeling like I was doing nothing but drawing my own branding. I was so done with it. Still am so done with it. Um, and like in my heart, I just could not bring myself to draw myself one more time. I could not do it. I could not do it. So I saved up for 2 months and took the plunge. I can see that. I can see how that would get tiring. My one friend had the same feeling. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad when you've got a zero budget and you are basically responsible for everything yourself. And it feels like no matter what you do, you're just not getting to the end of it. So I can understand the frustrations very, very much. Um, and that's why I am very grateful for every commission that I get because it makes it worthwhile for the folk who are struggling in the same way that I had. And one day is one day I want to be able to afford to pay it forward. Um, so there are a couple of layers that I'm still missing. Let me first start with just putting the cords on this backpack. Um, then the next thing is going to be Ron's cap. And I'm just going to use black for now, but I'm probably going to change the color later. Um, now we need roll slots. So I'm not also going to use the black because why? It's here and selected. And there's the gap. Nope. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. One down. Next. Okay. Save button to just make sure that we're all intact. And my processor is going to throw a hissy fit, so my model is going to break for a second because I've only got so much processing power on my machine, and it doesn't like saving and running a VTuber at the same time. And we are 4 hours into this drawing for today. Woo. But it's going well. It's going well. What we're still missing is some details. So I'm just going to go advanced detail. There we go. Which is going to include his fraction of a shoe. And I'm just gonna grab our little crocodile as well. And then metal, I'm going to grab that color. And on our carabiner. I think his earrings are silver, if I remember correctly. I'm just gonna throw that in temporarily so that I don't forget that they exist. Same over here. I know I'm missing the dangle on Law's earring as well. It's fine, we'll get there. And then we need a yellow metal for the aviators. Because being an owl, how can you have any sunglasses other than aviators? Because bird. There we go. Sorry, I had to step away. I'm going to look for a while. No problem, no problem. We are in productivity mode. So when you need to step away for any reason, don't feel bad about it. You don't have to announce it or whatever. I understand that there are things that people need to do as well. I encourage people to actually actively work on their own projects while I'm working as well, because that way we collectively motivate one another to keep at it. And yeah, I hope that you get through the things you need to do. And yeah, lurks are completely welcome. Lurks are completely welcome. I think that that is not the right color for the cone. But anyway. This needs to be a little bit more orange. A little bit more. That's more the right color. That's more what a sugar cone looks like. There we go. Now let's just grab the hair color 2 here. And clip that down. No, do not be a linear burn, be a normal. Okay, that is Miss Leader. Um, I think it's time for a hydrate. So, guys, everyone acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverage and let's take a sip. I know I'm probably ahead of my timer, but I can't remember the last time it went off, so I'm just going to have a hydrate anyway. Why? Because my coffee is cold. Why do I keep forgetting that my coffee exists? Oh no. Sad. Sad when the coffee is cold, but it's fine. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is flip that down. and make this overlay again. So that we can see more or less what our plan was. Okay, where are we gonna start? I think. I should probably start with the wing, because why? It is the next most complicated and most time-consuming thing to do. References, character references, VTubers, Bilby. Open that up. Okay. Okay, now grab this as our base color here. Lock the opacity on our wing. No, undo. Oh. Okay. The next thing we're gonna need is sort of like that. Okay. And let's go with which brush? This? Or this? This one. And I believe I just need to check a reference here quickly. Hold on, one second. Uh, let's call it dorsal. Okay, so that's going to be leading edges. Here we go. Let me just reduce the brush size a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay, there we go, there we go. That's that side. And there is the timed hydrate reminder. So everyone acquire, once again, your nearest cycle consumption beverage. And let's take a sip. And with that, the coffee is gone. Sad. Sad, sad, sad. Okay, now I just want to doubly check here. Ooh. Yeah, ventral side is significantly lighter. Noted. Okay. Now here we're going to grab the next one, which is there. And like such, okay? Let's grab those two. Okay, this one needs to be a bit redder, I feel. There we go. Now at this point, all I'm doing is I'm putting in the plumage colors. I'm not yet even anywhere near doing any shading. I feel like that can be a bit more saturated. Yes. It absolutely could be more saturated. Okay. There we go, there we go. Okay, now before I go any further, there we go, there we go, there we go. Alright, that looks about right. There we go, there we go, there we go. Before shading, and we're already adding in a good amount of texture. I'm happy with this. Undo. Hide everything at the back. Actually, invert, delete everything on the outside of all of these. So that I don't actually need to have this folder clipped down. To be intact. So now, if I need to do any adjustments to my silhouette, I can do it while I'm here. There we go, there we go. Okay. Now, there is something that I need to handle very, very quickly. I will be back momentarily. Until then, please enjoy time lapses. I will be back very, very swiftly. Alright, the cats are now fed. The cats are now fed. They were complaining. So, we are back at it. We're back at it. Okay. Now, I just want to get... Let's see. I said previously that I needed to make a actual swatch for these guys. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and do that quickly. So first things first, I'm going to come over to. Is this going to have everything that I need? Yes, it is. So I'm going to duplicate this color set. Duplicate this one. Call it. Okay, and then duplicate set. Call it fonts. 3. Okay. Now move up. Okay, so now we're on the Wilhelm set. Okay. Add a layer, add a row of alpha so that I can find things. Okay. Add color. Add color. No. Add color. Welcome back to my room. Okay. So now I've got my feather colors on a swatch. Great. I might actually stand a half chance of getting some consistency now. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. And let me see. Is there any way that is slightly lighter than this? Slightly? Yes. Okay. Okay. Add a couple before there. I can afford to make it just a smidge lighter. There we go. There we go. Yes. Tailing edge can be a little bit more like those lines. Sam, hello, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? How are you doing? It's good to see you. I'm doing. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Doing is doing the best that you can. So you know what? Fight on. Not in the best mood, to be honest. Oh no. Good luck. Indeed. I hope that whatever is troubling you, you will find solace and peace of mind and comfort. Seriously considering hanging out the lab coat for good? Oh no. That is big decisions indeed. Shutting the lab, so to speak. That's big decisions. Ah. Part of me wants to tell you that everything will be okay, but I can't speak for your exact circumstances. So I don't want to be the obnoxiously positive person who you probably don't need right now. You know your situation better than anyone else. Just reflecting and considering all the angles. That's fair. It's big decisions to make. And I hope that whatever happens, that you do so feeling without regret. That you have considered everything. If things are not working, that you've tried what you can. And yeah, I just hope that whatever you end up doing, that you don't feel that you are hindered in your decision making in any way. Don't want to make a knee-jerk decision, but I also see that I shouldn't dilly-dally either. Now, sometimes there are things that you might need to prioritize, and sometimes instead of pulling the plug entirely, you just need to take a step back, put it on page 5 of the priority list. And then give yourself the back door so that if you feel like you can and want to do things again, you've still got the option. But especially for folk like us who are not contractually obliged by things and our presence, I feel like making a decision to say, okay, end of story, full stop, goners, is maybe sometimes a little bit premature because you never know what happens a year from now, 2 years from now. you might have the opportunity to do things again and the desire to do things again. And if you shut all the doors completely, brick them up instead of just shut the bolt, as it were, sometimes you'll have a little bit of a tough time thereafter. Chaos Cat, you are looking for trouble. Don't you dare. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. Save. Thank you. Thank you for the save reminder. It's going to break my model for a second because it doesn't like having two things processing at the same time. Our plumage is starting to look owlish, I think. Starting to look owlish. Okay, without the inks, that's still mostly holding up. Okay. Now I just want to check on my reference again. Hmm. Okay. Had to step away for a minute? No problem, no problem. Let me think. And that's a hydrate reminder. So everyone acquire your nearest safer consumption beverage and take a sip. That's actually part of the issue. Time. It's nearly impossible for me to sit down for any personal endeavor uninterrupted for some reason or another. I'm familiar with that. I fought with that beast for a decade. Nearest makes no difference a decade in my streaming journey. I understand wholeheartedly. It's super frustrating. It's one of the reasons why when I could finally start, I was so tentative to say, okay, I'm actually here now. Because am I actually here now? Can I be? And it wasn't until my previous employment, the business closed, that I could actually say, okay, I guess I'm doing this full time now. So I understand the time being an issue. And as you get older, it doesn't get easier usually. Been at things for 4 years, come July, since back when I had much more free time. Now things are too stagnant, and I don't see any way I could have the time and resources to break the mold without getting backing from some sort of agency, company, or benefactor. But that doesn't happen. I don't say it wouldn't happen to guys like you. I think you just have not been lucky. And unfortunately, entertainment industry luck does play a factor. But I do not think by any means it is an indicator of your ability as a streamer or your personality or capacity or whatever. I just think you've been really, really, really damn unlucky. And that sucks. But it does happen, unfortunately. And you must know, when I start throwing the word damn around, then you know that, oh, that's really unlucky. Because I don't do that easy. Especially since I can't reduce hours at my day job. Must work 40 hours in order to have the benefits that even I need. Yeah, that. I understand. It's not easy decisions. Um, and it's not easy circumstances. That being said, I don't think that anyone's circumstances are ever going to stay static for infinity, if I can phrase it that way. So I don't know if you have any ideas for projects or anything. Possibly paid help? No can do. Don't have a disposable income, at least not for a long while more. Content creation is for those with time to do everything themselves or the money to pay others to split the workload. Either. Yeah, I understand. I understand. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm thinking my time for attempting content creation is past. I gave it 4 years and I didn't get very far. Maybe it's best that I just go back to playing games alone and support others when I can. I can't speak into that with any authority. I just hope that whatever you do, you find peace in your heart about that decision. I don't think I've got the right brush here. Not everyone is meant to be successful in every field of thought. This is sadly true. The main thing is, you tried, you experienced things, you learned things, and who knows what greater purpose that serves. Who knows? Your experience over the last 4 years might prove itself useful in another 20. You don't know. But everything happens for a reason. And I don't believe that your time was wasted. No, you jest. You jest. I actually think in 20 I'll be in my 50s. That has nothing to do with it. That's got nothing to do with anything. I am today in my VTubing using information I picked up in middle school as foundational information as part of what I use in a completely different field from what I used that information in middle school. I'm not going to clarify what it was because that's a bit too close to doxing myself. But it's true. I am in the orbit of my 30s as well. I know that information I picked up in high school helped me in my previous employment before the business closed. And there are stupid little things that you think are completely ignorable that have functional, practical purpose outside of your field, where you think you're going to use it. So don't despair. And don't think that your age has a limit on when you can start something. I hate that about the current society, is that people think that, oh, suddenly when you hit 30, now what? You're too old to do anything. That's a stupid young person mindset. Um, really, people, if you eat properly and keep moving in life, 100 is easy. This thing of people retire at 50 or at 55, and then they're supposed to, what, be pensioners all of a sudden? It's nonsense. For example, I'm actually going to give an example that's close to home. I know a person IRL who used to work in broadcast. He is now in the orbit of 70 years old. Okay, he's now in the orbit of 70 years old, and he cut his teeth doing media and live events. Right. So he worked with rock bands and everything, and music at the clubs and all of that, not whatnot. He was the quote unquote the sound guy. Today, several years down the line, he is using his broadcaster information to very casually live stream funerals. That's what he's doing now, because the entertainment industry is kind of dead in my country. For people of his demographic, unfortunately. I'm not going to get into that in much detail, but that's the unfortunate reality. So he's now using his broadcaster's expertise to live stream funerals, and he's doing an amazing job of it. And he's servicing his community. If I am able to retire comfortably in my 50s, then maybe I'd actually have time and money to make the decent content. Exactly! And I mean, that's when you should be plowing into it wholeheartedly, because guess what? If you retire and then you stop, if you retire and then stop doing anything, that's when you meet an early end. If you are retiring, you must be retiring to do the thing you really want to do. You know? Retire to give yourself the time to do the things that fulfill you. If you can. Sorry, the majority of people I know are well into the age where they're in the departure lounge. I feel strongly about this. Literally, the majority of people I know IRL are in the departure lounge. So, I feel really strongly about preconceptions about expiry age. Eve wants to start making cooking content, so even if I close my own lab, I can at least use my editing and channel management experience to help it. Exactly. And who knows, maybe you find that collaborative beast, if I can call it that, to steal the word from the song that's currently playing, to just make it easy for my brain to think. It's probably a door that's opening for you. If I had to give my very small 2 cents, That sounds like a door being opened right there, what you've just described. Because it's exactly what I was referring to in terms of information you've got proving relevant in another application. And you never know what kind of changes that sort of collaboration will have on you as you go through it as well. Maybe you find that you enjoy that team effort more than working on your own. Who knows? Anything is possible. And to be able to have a project like that, or not a project, but an idea like that, which you can do collaboratively with um, with Eve, then that's amazing because not every couple has that option or compatibility in terms of what happens. So I think that would be amazing if you do decide to go that route. If that's the way things go, I'll have to figure out how to recontextualize gaming into something worth doing for myself, even without recording or streaming. Yeah, it's sometimes a necessary thing to look back and see, okay, are you gaming because you really enjoy it, or are you gaming because that's just the done thing? And if you're just doing it because it's the done thing, then taking a break for a while until such time as you can do it for your own enjoyment again is maybe not a bad thing. Yep. I've always enjoyed games, but I initially started streaming to regain the social element of gaming that I used to have with my local friends. That is fair. That is fair. I remember you mentioning that before. For example, I had them over last Sunday while Eve was away on a trip, and it was a lot of fun. The first time we've done that in years. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad you had a fun time. But streaming with no active chat is kind of defeats the purpose, and I can't stream frequently enough or with enough consistency to have an audience anymore. And I don't have the ability to make YouTube videos without enough creative uniqueness to offer value to viewers, so that it has plateaued hard. Yeah, okay, I see what your struggles are. I understand. It's I can see where you're coming from there. The age of the Let's Player is long gone. I would have done quite well if I'd started back then. At least I like to think I would have. Yeah, it's difficult to say, eh? Yeah, unfortunately, we can't predict what an alternate past would have been like, but we just do what we can, right? Anyway, enough of that topic. I don't like being a dumb. It's okay. It's okay. You were explaining your introductory comment. I don't think it altogether counts as trauma dumping. And hopefully our conversation might prove useful to people who might have been lurking, who might have been in a similar situation, or might currently be in a similar situation. There's all considerations as where are you at, where have you been, and where can you take it. But speaking of social gaming, Sam, what's your take on D&D? Or similar tabletop RPGs? Save button. My model is going to jitter out for a bit. I've always thought TRPGs are cool, would have liked to participate in some. Like, I don't know. I know that you said that your time is very limited. But maybe I don't know if you're on a regular schedule or an irregular one, whatnot. But if you are on a regular schedule of some description, or at least a predictable one, then there are people who are actively looking for players in TTRPGs, and maybe that might help fill a little bit of that social gap for you. If you can find a DM, that will maybe be something for your current friend group to consider as well. But yeah, it's something I've wanted to get into as well. It's just the main issue I've had was always scheduling conflicts. But if you have a predictable schedule that can get around that, and you can find a group of players with a similar predictable schedule, you might have something that can help fill that social void a little bit. Once I organized one based on a Silver Age DC comic superhero setting for a local family and friends. Sadly, the pandemic cut through rush on that after 3 sessions. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But I mean, if the world build documents for that still exist, there's no reason why a new game in that setting can't get started up, I don't think. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. And nowadays, we're used to doing things a little bit more remotely anyway, so you've also got that option. It was cool. I was playing a Shazam / All Might sort of character. Ooh. A scrawny nobody who could transform into an empowered form with a super strength and a different appearance. Ah, fun. That's a hydrate. So everyone, acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverage and take a sip. Oh. Okay, at least on the outer wing, I think we are very close to being done with the plumage. Can you see why I started with this? I play Magic the Gathering for some in-person social stuff. Hey. There's the card players. Card shops usually have free events. Ooh. Fun. I feel like this one can be a little bit more present. haven't had a third form plan, but the traded strength and durability for flight and energy blast power, sort of a last hand for encounter where strength alone would have been used. I see. Sounds like a fun character build. Well, yep. But yeah, there's no reason why a cool setting like that can't get reused for a new campaign. Really. In terms of streaming, I've never gave it a full shake, but I do it as a hobby. It's hard to foster an audience. It is. I have friends who've done so successfully, but I don't know how. Yeah. Um, as someone who, before VTubing, streamed casually for about 8 years, you get very used to speaking to nobody and getting lucky once in a blue moon. It did hurt my love of gaming, though. I always wanted to play games for stream and fell out of love with it. Taking a break really helps if it hurts, if it turns into an addiction. One, yeah. No, like, the one thing that you don't want to do is fall out of love with your content. If that is what you're finding is happening, that is usually the indicator that it's time to take a break. Take a break, give yourself a chance to enjoy the thing for the sake of doing the thing again, and then dive back into it. It's one of the reasons why I've started doing this self-indulgence art on Thursdays now. If I get the opportunity to, and I don't have a deadline like right on my heels, then it's one of the things that I want to do, because otherwise it's gonna become really, really a slog to draw. And I want to not have the thing that I do most naturally become an impossible thing. So giving myself and making this time to do this now for myself is something that I want to do to make sure that I stay sane and don't lose the thing that I really, really love doing, which is drawing. So this picture, no one is paying me for it. And considering that art is my day job, that is usually something that people would find slightly concerning. But you know what? It's something that I'm doing because it's helping me keep grounded. And I mean, like Tuesdays, I've had a look at my stream analytics the last couple of weeks. Tuesdays, I am basically streaming to an empty room for 80% of the stream. Still doing it. It still happens. So it's really, really, really tough when you see that happens. But sometimes having something to do that is self-fulfilling when you see that is the thing that's happening, isolated from the potential for being watched while you're doing it, is maybe sometimes not the best thing. It really is hard to build an audience. I've also had to see pretty much every other creator I've known, mostly women, even those who started at the same time or after me, grow exponentially quicker. Yeah, that's a whole nother battle. That's legitimately a whole other battle. Like, some people are just really, really good at marketing, and I find that with everyone who pops off, that is the one thing that they've all got in common, is that they are really, really good at the social media aspect of keeping up with the trends and kind of just finding their people, like, straight off the bat. That's the one thing I've seen in common. Male and female creators alike. Like, their social media game is like emperor tier. I think I'm dealing with that too, though. If it weren't for streaming, there's many games I never would have played, like when I was in the top 9% of the most hours of Monster Hunter Rise, streamed on Twitch before Twitch started. Wow, that's insane. Hold on. Yeah. Like, yeah, there are some things that you're never going to do if you're not doing it for content. That much is guaranteed. But then again, it's also a matter of finding, okay, there is this thing that I want to do. Can I do it for myself? And is it going to be self-fulfilling to do it for myself? Or is it going to be more self-fulfilling to know that people know that I did it? And that's just a little bit of a self-checking thing. What's the fulfilling part? Doing the thing or being seen doing the thing? I don't know how to play the social media game. I'm too neurodivergent to know how to market myself effectively. Thank you, Direct. Yeah, I got you. I got you there. I also suck at marketing. Save button. Okay, let's do that. We are just about done with the plumage anyway. Okay, save button. It's gonna make my model stutter, but it's fine. Okay. We have not yet got any shading in place, but that's already looking significantly more like a wing. Yay! It's amazing what the color information on an owl gives you, right? Although, I think I still need something is still not right here. I need a manager really and some discoverability. There were many games I never played because I wanted to stream them and never did. Yeah, yeah. Basically I need an agency. I can honestly say, if you're confident that what you have to go with is such that you feel like it can work for you, I would actually say maybe specifically focus on auditions with a Brave group, because they have a lot of projects and a lot of different agencies and subunits. Not just Globy like these guys, but a bunch of others as well. And you never know if you are able to catch their attention, they might have a new subunit that will be the right team for you. So consider it. Throw in the line. You can't catch fish if you don't throw a line in the water. So if it takes 10 or 12 or 14 or 82 attempts to get in, but you finally get in, victory. Right? I've auditioned at a couple of places before, and I have not had victory yet on that front. But I entirely blame that on the fact that I have no idea how to set up an audition video. So I don't think I sold myself very well yet. But it's one thing that I want to do, is audition more to a bunch of places. I am not picky on where at this point, as long as it's above board, right? I'm so glad you're doing things for you. If you don't do something for yourself, you'll lose what you love about the thing you're doing, whether it's gaming or not. Art. Exactly. You got to do some of it for yourself, right? Like, I saved all of my gaming for content creation as well, and now I've come to the conclusion, I'm not a gaming streamer. Like, if I get invited to a thing where there is a game that I just happen to have, sure, I'll play it along, but like, I don't know if I vibe with the idea of gaming on stream. I feel like I should be doing something more productive. was basically for the longest time I thought I can't validate playing games in my free time. My very, very, very limited free time. I should be doing more important things with my time. And now, after I've done it a few times, I don't think that I actually even enjoy playing games on stream. So, yeah. I used to think that my strengths are the things which make me different mean I'd appeal to an undeserved audience in the VTuber scene, but I haven't had the discoverability to see whether it's true. Yeah, it's tricksy. It's tricksy out there. Outside of the VTuber audience, many are put by VTuber avatars, especially those resembling anime art styles. But being faceless also doesn't get clicks. However, I don't want to use a webcam for privacy and because it will exasperate my tics. Yeah. Yeah, that's when if you're aiming for a normie audience and you absolutely have to use an avatar, that's when inanimate object and avatar is maybe going to be your best bet. Like a normie will feel better about being spoken at by a toaster than an anime girl or an anime guy. That's just the way it is. They will feel better about it if they are being spoken at by a toaster. Also, I haven't yet been able to use the redesign you made, and I feel like it would be a shame to let that go entirely unused. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. Hey, yeah, because you did invest in the look. Huh. Like you'd actually maybe need to do a stylistic shift. You could actually use the same design and look into a stylistic shift on it, maybe to a more Western cartoony style. Um, like a more toony style maybe would be more accessible to I think the normies as well. Maybe I don't know. It's a lot of it's a lot of options, and it's not a easy, clean cut thing to find a solution for. Because thankfully, the design that you've got now is something that should translate relatively easily into a Western toony style. Okay, so we've got plumage in place. And it is now very, very close to the time where I need to actually call it night. It seems that using an avatar that's better than a Vroid, which I've been using for a while, does help. Yeah, Vroid has got a little bit of a stigma about it, unfortunately. I think with viewers. I've already to rig Live 2D made from your design, but rigging costs the same as the down payment on a car. Eesh, yeah. Yeah, that is the thing. Hmm. Getting the rig done is tough. Like, I don't know if you this is when I'd say, now that you've actually got the artwork for it, maybe it would be worth your while to actually attempt to self rig, considering that there is a free version to Live 2D, which gives you everything that you should need for the most basic parts of it. It is a bit of a learning curve if you're not someone who is used to doing anything with nodes or spines. But thankfully, there are a lot of really, really, really good rigging tutorials available. So even with a zero budget, if you're willing to put an hour in for a couple of weeks, an hour in every week for a couple of weeks, you should be able to self-rig as well, if you've already got the artwork in place. Having the artwork done already saves you a million headaches. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here for tonight because otherwise I'm going to hate myself in the morning. It is already midnight UTC. But we did get a lot done. We've done corrections to our line work. We've gotten the entire background in place. We've got plumage. So yeah. I remember when I tried to learn Blender and Unity to make 3D models, it didn't go well at all. It didn't click in my brain. Look, Blender is a whole nother beast, and depending on when that was, okay, it would have been in the last 4 years, so it'll be about the same problems I'm having. It's Blender is a thing to learn from scratch. Always wanted to learn how to rig, but it's hard without having anything to rig. Yeah, like having the base artwork is a massive, massive, massive thing. And that is, for a lot of non-artists who want to get into rigging, that's usually the hard starting point. Like, I know that there are a couple of study models or study files that one can get. I'm not sure about how cheaply. I don't know of any 100% free ones, but I do know that there are a couple of places where you can acquire ready cut VTuber art, ready to rig. I'm pretty sure you should be able to get a couple of those on Booth at relatively low costs as well, to be able to start learning the rigging process. Rigging in Live 2D is an awful lot easier than rigging in Blender. Let me just put it to you that way. It's an awful lot easier. It's looking amazing, Harriet. Always good to see you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's been fun having you guys around. I forgot the booth existed. Yeah, I forget the booth exists frequently as well. Between booth and now the VGen store, you should find some things there. Once upon a time, you used to be able to say Etsy, but there's so much generated stuff, AI generated stuff in there, that it's difficult to tell what's real and what's fake anymore. But yeah, check out. Maybe you'll find something useful for yourself. Since I have a ready to rig, maybe I'll see if I can self-learn how to rig it. Maybe I can find guides to do so with masculine body movements. Yeah, the main thing that's the difference between the masculine body movements and the feminine ones is the amount of twist. And that is very much at your own discretion because you don't need to copy a rigging tutorial one-to-one. Like, if you look at my own model, I have got what would generally be considered masculine body movements because I don't have a lot of vertical bounce. So when I move around, there's very, very little vertical bounce. And the physics is a little bit toned down as well. Most of the time, male rigging ends up stiff as a board with rigor mortis or feminine. Yeah. So the major thing you're going to look into with a male rig is going to be the amount of vertical bounce and the amount of physics that you apply to things. You've got the coats, so that's going to be the major thing where you've got physics. Literally everything else is short enough so that you don't actually need it, which saves a ton of effort as well. But the major thing you're going to want is to not have what I've currently got, where if you turn your head one way, the body turns the other way, because that is a very feminine sort of a movement. But a little bit of bounce on the arms, if your arms are separated, is worth something. But yeah, it's just going to be a case of you don't want to necessarily move the hips too much, and you sort of almost want to lead movements with the chest. Like, lead your movements with your head and chest, and that will be more masculine feeling, I think. It also has the other thing is that with a lot of your feminine rigs, they have a lot of accessories and flowy things that add to the bounciness in the rig. Whereas a lot of people, for some obscure reason, they miss out on, with male rigs specifically, expressiveness in the face. So if you can get big movements in the face, you're going to lose the issue of the stiff as a board feeling. And if you turn down smoothing in your YouTube studio, then you're going to see that it'll be nice and snappy. So yeah, I've seen some examples of excellent male movement rigging, then looked at the commission cost and saw 3,000 plus. Yeah, that's the thing. That's practice that you're paying for there, unfortunately. Getting a good cheek shape on your head turn, that is going to be important. Like, let me just go to our chat screen here. If we do ultra close up here, and if I lean this way, getting a cheek shape that works for your head shape is going to be the major thing. And that's going to take some pushing and pulling to get right. I struggled so much with getting the head turns on the cheeks, right? If you can get a sort of a 3/4 angle like this in place, instead of being stuck only there, being able to go just a little bit further helps a lot in terms of giving that expressiveness. But getting your cheek shape is going to be a major thing, and getting your head move turns to actually look like it's turning and not that you've got this floating piece of cardboard that's kind of just going up, down, left, right around your neck. Those are going to be your two major things. If you can get that right, then immediately you're going to be doing 90% better than a lot of other beginner riggers. So it might take 4 or 5 attempts to get your head turns to work, but if you can get your head turns to work, that is immediately 90% of the rig sorted. But yeah, I've got to call it a night now. I am losing brain juice out of my ears. It's literally leaking. Flip, 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 flip. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much for being here. We got a lot done. It was a wild evening. So from the next time we work on this, which if I am back, I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to stream on Wednesday next week because I'm out of office next week from. Let me just do the debrief here quickly. Out of office from Sunday. I return late, like 10 p.m. UTC on Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to have the energy and capacity to stream on Wednesday, but if I can do it, I will. On Wednesday, because I've just got Monday and Tuesday, I've got to work for final madness for past life. I think it's the final madness. I think. And then we will see how things happen. Mark your calendars. Something fun is happening on the 3rd of July. The 3rd of July, something fun is happening. Between now and when I return Wednesday, Thursday next week, I'm going to see how much prep work I can get done for that. But yes, something cool is happening then. Mark your calendars, look forward to it. It's going to be a collab. And it's going to be at our usual start time of 1900 hours UTC, so keep an eye open for that. There is going to need to be a little bit of audience preparation for that stream as well, so we will let you know timeously what you're going to need for it. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope that you guys are going to enjoy it. I am looking forward to it because it's a completely new sort of thing for me to try and do. I have never done this sort of a thing before, so I am looking forward to it as well. And yeah, we will see. The 3rd is, I believe, a Thursday. Yes, the 3rd is a Thursday. So we will do our bestest to be ready for a whole bunch of fun for that. Calendar marked. Yes. Ha 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 ha. Fun, fun, fun. Look forward to it. And let's see. Do I have anything else that I can announce? Yeah. So I am going to before the 3rd, I'm going to get going on Pessimistic Hype's character design. So that's the next task in the list after I spend tomorrow putting dirt on hems on animations. I'm going to see how much dirt I can put on those hems throughout tomorrow. If I'm very lucky, I'll be able to finish the entire job tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. It's a lot of frames that I need to put gradients on. And I need to keep my wits about me. So I'm going to switch on a VOD for someone else and wave motivational pom-poms or 3 to keep myself sane while that's happening. And yeah, hopefully I will have that done so that on the Monday and Tuesday leading up to the 3rd, we can just focus on the character design. And yeah, we will resume this picture. I wanted to have it done before July. But I'm going to see if I can finish it. I'm gonna give myself enough time with the summer picture that we were working on tonight. I'm gonna give myself enough time. I want to spend at least another 2 6-hour sessions on it, I think. Give it enough time because I don't want to rush it. But I think having had separated the goals between getting the background sorted and getting the plumage sorted today was a big deal. So next time I will probably focus on starting another process. I don't know yet. I'm looking at Vance's tail and I'm thinking, scales, scales, scales. That's the next most repetitive thing to do. So it'll probably be Vance's scales and his tattoos. And then afterwards we can look at rendering, and see how far we get with that. So I'm doing a lot of experimentation with this one. I want to see how much of a lineless style I can kind of mix in with it. So while I did do line art, I'm not sure how much of that line art is actually going to get used in the end. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I only use line art around the face. We'll see. We'll see. Not today's problem. But thank you all so much for joining. I really, really appreciate it. And until next time, cheery bye. Rest well when you get to it. Night night.